Jason's back. While the title of the film is Jason Takes Manhattan, we actually only shot for 2 days in New York City. The rest of the time we were in Vancouver, Canada. I've never really cared about how much money I made to play Jason. It was never about the money. I just loved playing the character. So when I met with the Canadian producer Randy Cheveldave, he asked me how much money I made as the character in Part 7. I told him I made SAG scale and would also be happy with that again. He said, okay, how about if we give you a 40% raise? What? A producer going out of his way to be generous? That is not common at all in this business. I was elated. I get to play the character I love so much again, and I got a raise. Unreal. Thanks, Randy. Buechler wasn't on this film, and the studio didn't seem to care too much for continuity because my costume looked completely different than the one just a year before. I mentioned this during the final test for the makeup. Instead of the chaos I figured it would cause as they tried to fix the problem, I was met with, oh well, it's no big deal. There was definitely some frustration, but at the same time, I was just happy to be playing a Jason again, no matter what. Since it was the second time I played Jason, I felt more comfortable that I wasn't going to lose the role halfway through the film and started speaking up, adding to kills and doing what I thought was best for the character. This newfound freedom allowed me to explore more in the character, which was great. The one good thing about the makeup not being so extensive was that it was much more comfortable on this film. Instead of a ton of latex, I was really only wearing a wetsuit under the shirt and pants, along with some latex forearm pieces and then the head. Made for less time in the makeup chair, which is always nice. They did give me a nice slime look, though. The effects guys would spray me down with a mixture of glycerin and other shit. I was so gooey, they ended up giving me my own special slime chair because anywhere I sat, no one could sit in it afterwards. I was so sticky, people tried to avoid me at all costs. Of course, I got a kick out of this, so I'd purposely walk into people and slime them. Just the kind of guy I am, I guess. This was back when Ghostbusters was huge, so I got nicknamed Slimer for a while. Regardless of how sticky I was, being back in the suit on set for the first time, I was feeling good, and I couldn't wait to get back to killing people. All of the alley scenes in the movie were shot in downtown Vancouver. The place was like a ghost town at night. The sun would set, and there wouldn't be a single person around besides a few bums here and there. During breaks from filming, I would walk around in the full costume to get some air and think about the next scene I had to film. On one occasion, I saw a man down the alley who seemed to be acting a bit weird. Being in the dark alley alone, from behind, I looked like a bum. My costume was torn up after all. The guy started to walk towards me, so I hunched over and pretended to be digging through a trash can. As I heard him come up from behind, I wondered if the stupid fucker was really going to try and mug me. I didn't want to find out, though, so instead I turned around and gave him a look that said, "Don't fuck with me in this mask." The man jumped back and yelled, "Good Christ," and then stumbled and ran away. I had never heard that phrase used before, and it struck me as funny. Good Christ. Scaring people in the movie is one thing, but doing it in real life when you can see their reaction, it's great. Seeing that guy run away put me in such a good mood, I had to concentrate during the next scene to get my anger back. Another time, while walking around the streets in full costume, I found a bum collecting cans. Being the asshole that I am, I walked up to him from behind and just stood there, breathing heavily. When he turned around, his jaw dropped down and he let go of the can. His hands went up to his eyes and rubbed them. "You are not real. You are not real," he kept saying as he backed up, keeping his eyes locked on me while he pulled his cart away. The entire time I stood there, not moving an inch besides my breathing and maybe a slight head tilt. The man finally stumbled around the corner. As he disappeared, I could hear the shopping cart speed up. Part of me felt like I should have been feeling bad for scaring a guy like that, but still cracked me up. The rest of the time we filmed outside in the streets and things went smoothly. There was no real trouble, and since the town shut down, there were no crowds or watching that we had to deal with. Besides, the outside stuff wasn't that extensive, so we mostly shot inside. During one of the outdoor scenes, the script called for Jason to kick the main character's dog. I thought it was pointless and didn't have anything to do with the story, so I just said I didn't want to do it. Besides, Jason is a killing machine. He wouldn't just kick a dog for fun. A dog is no more a nuisance to him than a fly, so why would he go out of his way to do such a thing?